Hi, welcome to the Rhythmologist channel. I don't do many of these talking to the camera type things. I tend just to do shorts and jams and things like that. But I was just recording Red Hot Chili Peppers cover specifically for Factory of Faith off of I'm With You. And I just found it interesting when you try and cut Josh Klinghoffer's songs live, as in you got a pedal board and you're trying to recreate as best you can his live sound. It's possible to do, but there's a lot of pedal hopping involved, and I'm sure a lot of you are accomplished guitarists, and you'll just be thinking, yeah, obviously. But maybe there's a few people out there who are big Chili Peppers fans, specifically of Josh Klinghoffer's guitar playing, that might find this interesting, because I was just covering Factory of Faith, and I was trying to remain as faithful as possible to the sound of the album, and I've only got a very small selection of pedals here. And I've covered other songs. What I'll do is at the end of the video, I'll put in the clips of me playing. I think I've done Factory of Faith. I've done the guitar solo on Adventures of Rain Dance Maggie, Monarchy of Roses. I've done a bit of that. Possibly some others. I have to see what clips I've got. But anyway, the real point of this is I'm just going to show you the gear that I used and how I created the sort of live sound. If that's of interest to any of you, hopefully it is. I'm a huge Chili Peppers fan. Just to say before we start, John Frusciante, obviously, big influence. But the Josh Klinghoffer period I find fascinating, because I thought he did a really fantastic job. I thought the two albums that we got from him were fantastic. My favourite is I'm With You. I love the sound on that album. I love the songs and everything like that. They're really fun to play. But what I find interesting about the way he creates his songs is I think that, similar to in One Hot Minute, sorry, I'm rambling, I'll get to the point of this in a minute, but similar to One Hot Minute, where the songs are kind of bass-led, and a lot of Chili Peppers songs are bass-led, but I think on I'm With You it's very evident that the songs were kind of started off as bass jams, and so a lot of Klinghoffer's guitar work on I'm With You is sort of layering, and he uses a lot of delay and things like that just to add sort of texture and depth and things like that, and it's not sort of forefront stuff, but it's interesting, but it requires a few effects. I'm going to spin the camera around. I'm going to show you what I've got at my disposal, and then I'll quickly just play through Factory of Faith, the part I was playing, and I'll just talk you through how I got it. Hopefully that's interesting to you. Then I'll put the clips at the end. Hopefully this won't be longer than 10 minutes. Okay, so I'll flip round. Okay, let's have a look. So if any of you have seen sorry about this blue light, it's unbelievably bright. If any of you have seen the rig rundown for Josh Klinghoffer, you'll know that his pedal board is huge. He's got one of everything, and in some cases 2 or 3 of some things. He uses 2 delays and all this kind of stuff. So if you're like me and you haven't got a massive pedal board, and you don't want a massive pedal board, just know it's not the end of the world. You just have to get a little bit creative with what you do have. Now, these pedals I've got here, again, I'm mainly talking to the sort of intermediate / beginners. A lot of guitarists are not going to find this information particularly interesting or helpful, but a lot of these pedals here are extremely cheap. Okay, this one here, the Sonic 8 one, is very, very cheap. I've got a delay, I've got an overdrive, a chorus, and a reverb all built in. Fantastic. This pedal is quite a lot more expensive. This is a recreation of the C1, which is something that John Frusciante and Josh Klinghoffer both used. This pedal, I think, above all others, is Not essential if you want to get a Chili Peppers tone, but it's definitely going to get you nearer to it than any other pedal, because simply by just having it in your pedal chain, it adds a tone. It affects, even when it's off, it's still affecting the signal. I don't think John or Josh used a CS3. I think they used a Dynacomp, MXR Dynacomp, which I do really like, but I find this one, I don't know, just as good. I can get more of a, I don't know, I kind of prefer it, but I do like the MXR Dynacomp. I think you could have either or even both. I think Josh might have both, actually. I don't know if he's got a CS2 or a CS1, maybe. Anyway, the point is, look, these are very basic pedals. Blues Driver, Super Overdrive, a wah. That's just a tuner. So I haven't got a lot there. I've got the bare minimum, okay? And even with that, you can still get some pretty cool tones. I'm just going to now demonstrate. I'm going to turn the camera around again. Oh, around. So what I'll do now is I'll just play a couple of little sections of Factory of Faith. And you can, I'll just, as I introduce each pedal, you can hear how I'm doing it. So yeah, so the it starts off with just the chorus part with a clean guitar. Pretty simple. But then when it switches to the solo in the middle of the song, you then have to immediately, as you're coming out of the chorus, you then have to introduce some overdrive and delay just to do this section. And then you have to bring in a bit of wah as well. So you've got all these pedals that you have to click on one after another, and then it goes into this weird little. Okay, so yeah, hopefully that gives you a little example of what I'm talking about when it comes to sort of recreating the live sound of Josh Klinghoffer. There's a lot of tap dancing you have to do, and then of course if there's other sections you have to remember to turn off the pedals and blah blah blah. Anyway, the point of this video is, if you're a huge Chili Peppers fan as I am, you might find what I'm talking about interesting. From a practical perspective, it's stuff worth thinking about, and yeah, I hope you enjoy it. Comment down below if you've got anything to say. Tell me about the gear you use, the pedal boards you've got, what effects you use to achieve the Chili Peppers sound. I'll be interested to know who achieves a sound with as minimum amount of pedals as possible, because I don't have many. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if anyone can do it in less than that, okay, one's a multi, that's cheating a little bit, but yeah, if you can do it in less than that, I would be very interested to hear. Anyway, keep playing, keep enjoying music, and maybe I'll do another one of these videos if people find it interesting or helpful.